And we're back with our final game of the night. Who will come out on top? Is it going to be 9Pandas that can start off their 2 or 3 with a strong start, or can they find their first victory for the boys on Nemiga? I mean, they started on day 1 as well, so for Nemiga, it's a big first week for them. Again, their second team, of course, not an easy opponent at all. Not the best game 2 from them as well, Danog. We've had a little bit of time to see what they're able to do heading into game 3. You brought up some of the things you'd like to see them change. What about the bans and picks for the first phase? Let's look at that a little bit more. What do we want to see kind of change heading into this third game?
Depends who has first pick and who has second pick. I think if you don't have first pick, you got to get rid of the Doom. They don't, it gets picked. So I think that's always going to be a bit of an issue, but it's an instant response coming through from Nemiga. A big part of their success was the Clinks, right? With Hellstream playing it, and he just made Solo's life an absolute misery. And also, I mean, if you can get farmed enough on this Clinks, you do enough damage to even take out a core in the mid to late stages of the game. It's just the issue of getting to that point. How do I feel about the Undying into this lane? Obviously decent against the Beastmaster, but it's not like you're needing to right-click for absolutely everything. And you've got a decent amount of DAC the other way as well, just through the axes building up, through the Clinks just pinging at you from afar. You almost never need to be standing on top of each other, so I'd say it's pretty rare that you're going to get that double decay value.
Do we feel like some of the value of the Undying is not there anymore, with like pretty much no range carries are picked up besides the do so?
Like, SF's picked up, I guess. Like, that's the only other one that I can really think of. Maybe a sniper. We haven't really seen too much of the Drow. I still want to see that shard in a competitive game, dude. The little platform, little cliff, whatever you want to call it.
Is it Glacier? So cool. What do you,
Sure, let's go with that.
I don't even... Do you want to check actually what it's called now?
Actually, no, pop quiz. What do you... No, we both don't know what it is, so... yeah, it is Glacier. Very nicely done.
Wow. Look at me. I know my spells.
We both know that's not true. A new hero comes out, and 4 months later you're like, what is this hero?
Come on, dude. Quiz me on anything. What do you want? What do you want? I'll name it.
What's Skywrath's shard called?
Oh, it's a really weird one.
It is. That's why I got it off the top of my head.
10 seconds remaining.
It's 4 words, and 2 of them are of the...
5 seconds remaining.
Alright, no, this is the worst one.
You're not getting it.
No,
anyway, we'll talk about the draft. Keep thinking. Keep thinking. Keep thinking. I don't need an instant answer, but if I see your hand on the mouse at all, I'm going to revoke your chances. Alright. It is a good ban, though, of course, against the Undying, just because... Actually... Huh. We see the teams that pick the Undying get rid of the Skywrath mage just because you're able to turn around a lot of the damage. I see your hands on the keyboard.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah,
okay. Because you've obviously... It's great to be able to face up against the Undying because you're able to stay at range the whole time, right? You've got better movement speed, you've got attack range, you've also got the ability to buy just something as simple as a magic stick and then spam out your spells and really make Undying's life difficult. But Nemiga have gone and banned it themselves, I guess, just feeling like they were subject to a lot of threat coming through from Antares, but
yeah.
I mean, I guess they were never really going to pick it, considering they've already got the Clinks for themselves, but I don't know. I feel like you got to leave that as an option for you.
I think that's the big one, where it's just take Antares out of his comfort. I mean, he played 13 games of Sky at the Major, and he was 8-5. And he didn't have many other heroes. It's like Sky, Techie's Bounty, and then Rubik, and then 2 other heroes only has 1 game. So like he's really got heroes.
There's no Techies or there's no Tinker or Bounty Hunter ban just yet. So
the bounty, no bounty ban's very interesting because I thought they would have first phased it.
Maybe just waiting to see what slipped through, you know. Well, there's the bounty ban. Do you think it's going to be a full-on Antares focus? Like, are they going to get rid of the techies next? I feel like it's certainly an option. The stun just keeps people inside of the tombstone range for a little bit longer, allows you to catch up with a flesh golem, get that single right-click off. Means the Doom, of course, is going to be able to catch up as well, just with that Scorched Earth. Feels pretty solid to me.
5 seconds
Yeah, it seems like
remaining.
it covers a decent amount of the undying weaknesses, right? So seems like-
High damage, team fight's good, can farm relatively well. It feels like a good techies game so far. We can't call it great just yet, just because we don't know what mid is available for him to be able to play with.
So I think more than likely, though, speaking about Nemiga supports, we're going to be looking probably for So Bad's hero to be picked up at the 15th. You mentioned that you felt like the lanes were a really big issue in the second game. I mean, we just saw Pandas pretty much off the back of the lanes, they won the game. So are we just hoping for like a strong position 5 to help in the lane?
Team ban.
Wouldn't hate an inch. You know, like, it feels pretty solid to me. These three are just doom protecting bans right now that Pandas are putting through just to stop him from running at you and to stop him from getting crushed in the laning stage. But an Ench, to me, it puts a lot more tower pressure on when combined together with a Beastmaster.
10 seconds
It
remaining.
also just makes Doom's life a little bit more challenging in the laning stage.
5 seconds
That-
remaining.
I could see them get away with a Disruptor as well. You know, if Doom runs at you, you just glimpse him back.
Radiant
Lay down a
team
kinetic
pick.
field earlier on, and he's not actually able to deal as much of to be as much of a threat to your position 1. It depends what you want to
Dire team
prioritize,
pick.
right? Do you want team fight and a way to not lose the lane, or are you trying to win the lane? And it seems like Nemiga just want to go for something that worked well for them in their game number 1 in the Vengeful Spirit. So really think that they might even just go down the Terrorblade route again.
seconds
They might
remaining.
also consider going for
Dire
a Shadow
team
Fiend,
pick.
for example. Never mind, they're not going to go
Radiant
for it.
team pick.
They actually banned it themselves.
Points away.
Okay.
What do you do against this, though? You can't pudge this, can you?
I don't think you can. Just because then you're
10
like you have a
seconds
Venge
remaining.
Beast and a Clink that's probably going to go Solar Crest. You need a right clicker.
5 seconds
You
remaining.
need someone who's going to be.
So, but who though? Like, who is going to dominate the lane that's got decent chase potential, and is able to deal like AOE damage? That's going to deal with a Naga Siren. Because there's things that respond to each individual thing. Like a Lifestealer would crush the lane, and you can go like a Maelstrom, I guess, to make it okay against the Naga Siren. But Naga's eventually just going to absolutely storm over you.
Can we see Melrin potentially consider a quap?
They could Ember as well. Ember
Dire
decent against the
team ban.
Pangolier. Maelstrom is decent against the Naga if you get a bunch of illusions. Okay, it's going to require a lot of early rotations, and I mean,
Yeah.
this is the game to be able to pick up the Drums of Slom for sure against the Naga Siren. It makes a lot more sense as well to
10
be going into the
seconds
Vanguard
remaining.
this time around, because Naga, even just through the illusions, is going to look to put a lot of pressure in
5 seconds remaining.
onto Vazir on his Beastmaster. So I think they're really just going to look to provide him as much space as he could possibly want to be able to give himself a bit of an easier time here.
I don't know how different this matchup is with the 7.3 patch, but I know back at TI, Primal and Pengo was kind of one of the heroes you would like picking into Primal, just because you've got
Radiant
some ways
team
to
ban.
mitigate some of his effectiveness and his burst potential and to get some distance away. So again, I don't know how, if it's too different. I can't imagine it is, but regardless, I think Kiritaka's gonna have a pretty decent time into the Primal Beast. So I guess that's one thing going
Are they
their
just
way.
getting rid of Maelstrom buyers? With the
10
Juggernaut, I guess
seconds
it's
remaining.
a little bit of kill threat for the lane.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm just having a look at some of the other heroes that that Violent likes to play. Like, a lot of them are gone, to be honest. It's not a good PL game. Monkey King's gone. Ursa is in the pool, which wouldn't be horrible, but I mean,
10
it's not horrible
seconds
for the
remaining.
lane. It's pretty horrible for the Naga.
Yeah,
Radiant team ban.
they're in a really awkward position where you have to get heroes that play well with the Beast and Venge, but then you also need a hero that addresses the Naga and doesn't care about getting doomed. So I think they've kind of been outdrafted
10
here. I don't
seconds
think
remaining.
there's a 24th pick that really fixes the issues
5
that we are
seconds
currently
remaining.
seeing.
Dire team pick.
Sniperino. You're gonna get run at, but
Yeah,
you've
he's
got
gonna-
Avenge to save you. And you've got Raw to stop the Pango. And you can build Maelstrom. I think it's Sniper.
10 seconds
Can you-
remaining.
You double
5
range?
seconds remaining.
Venge Sniper into potential Doom unknown?
I think you can. Slows and stuns and stuff
Radiant
to
team
buff up
picked.
your magic damage. I think with Take Aim now as well, they gave it a bit of a buff, right? Like, just popping it instantly gives you 200 attack range, which is pretty nice.
Let's see.
Coddle of the Light, huh?
It's got to be mentioned. This Clinks is no potential for it to be
10
Flexure.
seconds remaining.
I don't know. I don't know what.
I don't want to say there's no potential, but I've
5
only really seen it
seconds
have
remaining.
success as a support. I mean, what do we... But then you get the ranged issue that we were talking about before, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like you have Burning Barrage anymore, so buying like a Maelstrom isn't going to rip through Naga Illusions.
I'm trying to just think of one melee hero that comes to mind. I don't know.
I mean,
man.
against a Coddle, you don't really want it either now. Against the Doom, you would have loved it, but against the Coddle, not so much.
Phantom
You may now
Lancer.
select
Okay.
your heroes.
If it gets late game, you can do a lot of work, but again, this Pango is just going to build a Maelstrom. Doom is going to have AoE damage from Scorched Earth. You're going to have Naga, Riptides going off here, there, and everywhere, and Antares as well, just blinding and illuminating a lot of these team fights. So I'm not sure if this was the pick. I still think a lot of this is on Vajra. I think if he can get some good roars onto Kiyotaka to allow them to... They don't even have a ranged hero, right? To be able to hit the Pango, even if you roar him in the middle of a fight and he doesn't have the shield crash on. You know, what do you actually do against it then?
I don't see
10
what Nemiga
seconds
going to be able to do
remaining.
if Melrine has a bad game.
5
We saw what
seconds
happened
remaining.
last game for Vajra. He doesn't leave the lane like he's. It doesn't matter about who's playing it. It's just the Beast Monster hero. You're not leaving your lane. You're not rotating. This hero stands where he is and doesn't do a whole lot after that. And your PL is not going to be able to get active. Your Venge is. There's a big reason why we don't say Venge a whole lot. You can't really be the playmaker.
They won when
so
they picked it.
They did win. They did win. But come on, like this is this is so much pressure. I feel like on Melrine to be able to come out on top. And as the game goes on, there's going to be some nice ways to address him. Like this Naga can really be a big issue with that root, and eventually it's going to be able to pierce BKB. So I kind of liked when Nemiga were going though. Like it was this. You had the Venge to be able to address the Doom. Whenever you use the ultimate, you just swap and reposition. That's a Doom pretty much wasted for a Venge swap who's got a very low cooldown. You were going to be able to buff up and have this hyper carry that could just go toe-to-toe with Ramses. But again, this Naga pick just threw them in a whirlwind, and they could not address it as soon as it was picked up.
The second
I don't know,
phase
man.
bans were really good from 9Pandas, I think. Like, it addressed the Doom in lane, and it addressed some of the big Maelstrom builders that would have been able to deal with the Naga Siren as well.
So, let's see. Let's see what they can do on the boys on Nemiga, because it seems like we are both very much in the 9Pandas fan. But before we get underway, of course, let's hear it from EGB.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
There was, big reason. Melrine, he said, good luck, have fun with the bracket at the end of that, and then he did triple
the
bracket.
European smile.
Yes. So it wasn't even, he triple bracketed after with a separate message. We don't see that too often. Maybe it's just like, the one message of something instead of the good luck, but
It means that he's being very serious with his good luck,
Yes, definitely. He's really hoping that they, that in particular, Kiyotaka is,
30
He's in the
seconds.
best mood.
Luck, and his hand doesn't cramp, and all that good stuff doesn't happen to him.
So we painted a pretty grim picture for Nemiga. But now this is, you have the floor to paint the absolute
Michelangelo
best scenario.
painting floors and ceilings and all that sort of stuff. All right, best scenario. Like you said, I think Melreen has to have an amazing lane. I think if the Beastmaster is able to get into this Drums of Slom, it could put him in a fairly decent spot. Kiyotaka is going to have a lot of damage reduction, 40% by using that shield crash in the lane. I wonder if this leaves him a little vulnerable just for the early stages in the mid lane, right? Knowing that he's got the shield crash as opposed to the swashbuckle, maybe you go for like level 1 trample and look to like try and take away a lot of his HP. Let's see.
Alright, keep it in the picture for me. Is there not much more? Oh, no.
There's not much more. I mean, I honestly think
no.
they're in a position to maybe lose all 3 lanes, if I'm being totally honest about it, right? Because you've got a Coddle that's going to be able to do a lot of harassment in this bottom side of the map. It also means that you're going to have Scorched Earth much more frequently if you're choosing to put it in onto them. They're nearly copping double Illuminates as well already in the lane. And in terms of heroes that are able to push the lane out and allow the Doom to go for those super deep dives, Coddle's one of the best, right? Like, most of the time you're like, Coddle, stop stealing my farm, but who cares when you've got a Doom and it's just going to enable you to continuously run in.
I guess the one nice thing for bottom is the fact that Antares did miss the unblock on the hard camp, the great position with the sentry from Sobat, top left corner, so that's the big thing. Shove the lane out, go for the pull, reset positioning, rinse, repeat. So they at least won't have this for 9Pandas to work with. Meanwhile, top lane, Solo and Vaj are falling very, very low between the two, but it looks like Hellscream. Solo's got some stick charges to work with. Still another round of the axes. Now Ramsey's actually looking to try and push back Vajja, but Ramsey's won't be able to continue the chase.
A little surprised, to be honest. I mean, Nagasaren's got a good 30 movement speed, 25 actually, on the Beastmaster, but didn't see if that last right click was going to be a high roll. So really burning a lot of his regen already in that lane. Even getting the range creep denied in front of him. Let's drop the tombstone here, but it's going to be enough to be able to take them out before the tombstone dies. Hellscream getting some valuable goals.
Jeez, what?
Yeah.
What was that right click? Oh my god.
I mean, he's already lost 8 strength, so he's got 400 max HP.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Vajja's like, yeah, I've had enough. This is one thing I have not seen a lot. What,
it's so much harder to do. That's why. Part of it is the small camp being that much closer to the lane that, you know, most of the time when people did that first pull, they like delayed it a little bit so that it would block up the camp at the same time. It's really hard to do it. Like, you're putting yourself in a vulnerable position for so much longer. Will they get a half pull? Yes, they will. Nicely done by Vajja on the top. And it is a little easier to do if you're Radiant, just because you don't have this gigantic ward spot that's going to scout out any sort of movements towards that area. So I think that's one area where Dire previously had the swung back to Radiant, and I think it's part of the reason behind the win rate skewing a bit more towards Radiant in recent times as well.
Overall, though, does look like the lanes are... I mean, top's still a little bit iffy for the Beastmaster, but importantly, he's getting his levels, and that Ring of Health with 1 might be enough sustain just to be able to offset the Undying kind of nuke and issues that we see with him up against strength heroes and female bottom. Vance getting all the farm he would ever hope for with the Phantom Lancer as well.
Yeah, Miro, obviously, it's a lot of it is off the back of them being able to block up those camps and keep them blocked for a good period of time. Miro, he just had to take whatever creep he could, which is the Ice Armor. Honestly, not the worst against a Vengeful Spirit lane. Just with Doom not even needing to buy anything like a Ring of Protection or anything like that. This is the thing, Antares, he's going to really look to scale up in levels off the back of a lot of these stacks that he might try and build. I almost have to wonder, like, when Melvin is very deep, by the way. He's behind the tier 1 mid tower. Maybe looking to try and take some creep camps as well at the exact same time. Like you mentioned during the draft, it is one of the... Pango was one of those heroes that people liked to pick. Did he get a career snipe? Got him. Like to pick it against the Primal Beast just because you've got movement spells to be able to get away, but you would have to say that you don't farm anywhere near the same speed as what a Primal does.
No, definitely not. At least in the early game is really the big thing, and then you can maybe get an item advantage and then scale and then snowball that, I should say. So yeah, like you said, prior to defusal. So we'll see. Kiyotaka, regardless, though, is you know, what, 5 2/3 once he hits 6. Even from Melrine as well, where we're going to see both of these heroes look to get very, very active.
He's going to get 6 after this kill. I'm not sure if it's going to be this last creep. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Still do have a bounty rune for him to be able to pick up, and I mean, he's got a roaming observer ward essentially following him in that melee creep. It does give him a 6. So is anyone going to be able to make a move to be able to secure him a kill? I mean, that first blood would be huge if they went for it. Ooh, speaking of first bloods, Miero potentially considering one down towards the bottom side, but we're seeing a lot of little pokes and prods that haven't eventuated.
This time the poke should work out in 9Pandas' favor. As Vajja, wait, you just gotta commit now. Ramses will do just that, and he should be able to TP out as well. Meanwhile, Hellscream should be able to get the return onto Solo.
He just wants to die out of XP range. He's completely out of resources. Oh, does he see the courier? Oh, kill the couriers first! Oh, Solo.
Regardless though, 9Pandas able to pick up first blood, might even look to TP mid, but Kiyotaka's got a full bottle and full resources, so he's even going to look to try and connect as well. Nice scan though, regardless. They are well aware.
Oh. 15 HP he's able to survive on.
Nicely done as well.
Kiyotaka making a movement up towards the top side, dodging out all of that with the arcane rune being popped. Vaja able to take away that Lotus right in front of him. They know the pathway. It's such a narrow one for them to go down. Oh, what the bouncer's going to be like? For this Pango nearly clips himself.
No way. He jumped over a Kiyotaka. He'll get the kill as a result, but Melrine's real angry. He wants some revenge. And he should be able to find it. No crazy shenanigans going on with the neutral creeps to be able to find that deny, and unfortunately wasn't a perfect timing as well. They're even going to give the rune over to Melrine, so he's able to get a full refill in the bottle. Meanwhile, I believe Intara is able to get the other one as well down bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh yeah, there. I'm just blind. Don't worry about me. He's going into the Pavis.
Pavis, yeah. Okay. That's what I said.
But,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
True. I told you I have Italian heritage, alright? Don't you start.
Whoa. Alright. They're pretty aggressive, and this time it's going to be able to pay off deep inside the tower. Wait, Ramses? Alright, has he got enough? Yeah, it's 380 movement speed with the phase boots activated. They're going to be back up shortly as well. Oh, he's zooming. How is Ramsey still alive? Where's the boys?
Nog is also pretty speedy.
He's got the abilities up pretty shortly at least. He's just going to try and predict where he is. Gets a glimpse of him and...
Oh, Ramses! Oh, what a player.
Axes as well. Doesn't need to. He's got to live.
Oh,
Radiant's
tip him.
What?
His team have to tip him after that, man.
So what happened? It looks like Solo went down and so bad also died across the map. No, I'm just
Radiant's middle tower is under
That's the sort of play that you got to focus on. And again, this is one of the plus sides. Naga Siren, low HP, you're playing on the dire side, he's got the Mighty Minds buff. So 4 HP per second that he's getting. Just gets it passively. Of course, not wanting to put too many of his creeps there. He doesn't want to get the Hellbear Smasher to smash him.
Indeed, no smashing, please, sir. Meanwhile, Antara is able to get that finishing blow into the bottom tower, so, I mean, that's pretty much Pavi's completed here for the Coddle, and meanwhile, they're gearing up for a dive as well as Vajja is going to need some boys. Alright's going to look to TP, but the Polarize still up the ready. No Rolling Thunder for Kiyotaka to work with as well, so he doesn't have the full arsenal of spells. Miro doing here. What's going on?
As soon as you see that tombstone, you got to get out. You know, like the Primal Beast really wanted to try and lay down the Pulverize, but not into all of that, not with the heavy rotations that they've been able to make through. I mean, it works, right? If they feel like Antares is just able to read this one out, build up a lot of the stacks, keep that bottom lane shoved in, it's a lot of space for Naga to potentially move down to as well. Just looking to correct this mid lane first, and really sets them up to be able to scale into that later stage.
I was just going to ask who you feel like they'd give these stacks to, but alright. Ramses
Dire's
is
courier has been killed.
mine, all for me.
I still wish we could see the choices that they get with the
Yeah,
tier
same.
ones. That's a pretty great one for the Naga to get. Not a ton of magic damage that you're having to deal with early on.
It's positioning, so bad's gonna get knocked down to the low ground. So like, still be able to get the kill nonetheless. Kiyotaka does take a lot of damage for it. Melrain once again just a little bit too late to get the kill onto the Pango, but it looks like nonetheless he'll get a freebie onto Solo. Might be forced to use the Pulverize, and will do so at the last second.
That's a enough cooldown, it's fine. And Ramses, they won't know, but he doesn't have a TP available, so they might be able to put some pressure up onto this top tower with the fact that you've got the shield rune, Pulverize just 10 seconds away. You know that there was a TP used defensively as well to be able to get on out of there. Just push in. I mean, once again, it's going to be 9Pandas, slightly favored, of course, this game, much more even than game number 2, but third place at a major speaks for itself.
Does indeed. Don't need too big of a net worth lead for 9Pandas. The odds over in their favor. I think this is a Midas that's getting delivered from Miro. And you're getting a free tier 1 tower as well. As soon as they see Melran look to try and TP in with the shield rune, he's probably going to be enough of a deterrent.
So one of my win conditions for Nemiga was that Vazia had a pretty decent game. He is not having a decent game right now. He's only just hit up onto level 6. He's basically leveled with the Clinks in terms of net worth. Part of that is Hellscream's gotten a little greedier, but I think it's so important for him to be able to get into this Vanguard and the Aghanim Scepter, for him to be able to give them some sort of a response to this Naga Siren, because outside of him, I'm really not seeing it, right? You've only got one use of the trample, and then what do you have to be able to deal with Naga illusions?
Oh, jeez, a lot of damage on a Solo. It's a commitment just for the Undying, though, and Solo, he's okay. Parvy's activated, and they're going to be able to turn it back around into Melrain. They'll even snipe the DD in his own face, and a high five as well. Kiyotaka, beautifully done, and Solo will live to tell the tale.
Yeah, the power of the Puppies. Hover over it, it's got an insane cast range for a supporting item. Just to be able to get it from complete safety. You almost never want to be in on the front lines as well as a support, so it really feels like it fits in really well.
Just back to your Beastmaster thing as well, the fact that we see Vazia farming down bottom instead of... They're gonna make... looks like they can with Violent coming through the portal. Very nice.
You've got full map vision and I didn't even know that was coming. That's the power of these twin gates.
Outnumber them all.
So this is a big thing, with Violent playing towards a triangle, getting both the Ancients to farm. Yes, it's buffing up his net worth, his Diffuser Blade and one component of the Manta, but it means that the Scepter is going to be much, much slower for Vazia.
Yeah. He needs those stacks to be able to start to scale, and I mean, it's even just good for Venge to be able to kind of keep up with things, right? They go for a smoke, and they actually get a kill onto Solo, not the highest value, but this is the power of the Clinks, even in that support role. They might be able to get a quick kill as well onto Antares. Didn't use the Pulverize early enough, so he's able to get the harvest off.
He's pretty speedy though. It's like, even with the Rolling Thunder expended, they've got the snare back up from Ramses. It's close to the tier 2 tower, but a Doom's going to be committed as well for Miro to help secure the kill, and now they'll turn over to the right and see a freebie in so bad. So 9Pandas, this net worth lead is starting to balloon out of control. It's up to 5,000 now at 14 minutes.
Just got way too greedy with that one. It seemed like a really easy Pulverize onto a Keeper of the Light that almost certainly would have been going down, and off the back of this Hellscream, at least you'll be able to snipe out that Wisdom Rune in Kiyotaka's face. I believe the... No, okay, so it went over to so bad. I was about to say, I nearly thought Vazia was the second lowest on the team. Experience, rather, but still went over to so bad.
Hellscream's... This boy's putting in some work, though. We'll see what this hero is really...
Straight nullifier.
To the light.
Radiant's top
I don't know what value we're getting out of this. The Parvies.
That's about it for now.
Yeah, double shield crash as well, I suppose.
They've got double puzzles, so.
It's just so much damage as well with this hero, so we'll see. Support's going to be probably food for him. That's really his name of the game. Probably hoping to get rid of the coddle.
I mean, it really does feel like it's probably for the Pango, right? Like if you
Speaking of Pango, top lane. The boys are coming. Melrine's got to get out pretty fast, but the diffuser blade from Kiyotaka will make sure that attempt will be cut short. And all of a sudden, there's two other supports to look to move on over. And it's not going to matter with the Rolling Thunder off the mark for a little bit. Kiyotaka's able to blow him up, so there's that. Oh, they're even going to look to smoke instantly. Okay.
Was I seeing things, or was Pango getting stunned while in the Rolling Thunder by the pulverized mini-stun?
Yeah, I thought I saw that as well. I'm
gonna need to test that after this one.
It might just show the stun bar and not stun him still. I don't know.
It seemed like he kind of stuttered in place, you know?
It kind of did. We might get another mechanic like that later on.
Tumbler's toy? Oh, no.
Dude, that's a...
You broke my boat velvet.
Level 10 on the coddle as well, so Chakra maxed out. It's got the Illuminate maxed as well, so they definitely continue to be in fighting shape. They're going to haste red as well for Kiyotaka. Why not?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I wonder if that's going to work the same way. You know, we like to reference it a lot, but the old Snapfire Aghanim shard with the stun bar. I wonder if that's going to work the same with the Basher for Pango, right? You just swashbuckle through all the PL illusions, and the one that has the stun bar is the real one.
Speaking of the Pango, Melrine again. It's just Kiyotaka's able to lock onto his member. Will not matter where Melrine goes, there's always a Pango to prove to be an issue. They're still trying to hit back Hell's Scream. Hang on, brother, this is not an attempt that's gonna go your way. Kiyotaka is a man on a mission to try and take this series, and with the progression they're on currently, it's seeming like they're going to be able to do so with quite the ease.
So part of it is, of course, wanting to pick up farm in the most efficient way possible, which is lane creeps. But I think a big part of it as well is just...
You know, Violent so bad? What's going on here? Two people just popping out of the portal. Now Violent, he doesn't want to be here anymore. He's stuck. Can he cut through? I don't know if he can leave. He's got to try and juke with the illusions. I'll get a glimpse of him now. Violent, no, what? Just too late.
He's doomed. He's doomed in base.
What?
Oh, I've seen that happen a couple of times where it just goes off after the fact, but all right. Clever play to be able to TP out. Even more clever by Antares to go up onto the high ground just in case he was there. It'll still result in 9Pandas taking Roshan though.
Edge. Under attack.
Oh man, and meanwhile, wait, what the? Oh, it's a Radiance Naga.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm getting PTSD right now. Old school Naga days where they just build it, make illusions, and just run them down the lane. And this is when lanes would like aggro from the very start to the very end.
Dire's bottom
So
tower
you just
is
keep
under
pulling them
attack.
back, and there's no way for you to get out of your base. It's just full on illusion builds.
Kiyotaka? Alright, it's going to be there. The chain control, is it actually even going to be enough? They have to roar on the first life. He's not even going to die. Are you serious? Kiyotaka turns with the Rolling Thunder, but they are in shambles. Hellscream won't be able to TP up. The Rolling Thunder stops it short. Meanwhile, Solo chases down the secondary support as well, and they didn't even freaking go through the first life. Kiyotaka still has the ages.
Double harvest, man, I'm telling you, just from super long range. Even if your core is out of position, kind of like what Kiyotaka was there, he's feeling a little bit more confident because he's got the Aegis of the Immortal for sure. But that, plus the extra 10% magic resist for the Occult Bracelet that he's still holding on to at 19 minutes, all these little things do add up. He's going into a Satanic next man as well, just to be that little bit more survivable.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
There's some weird stuff going down bottom. They're trying to set up on Miro, who also was then trying to set up on the PL. And now they've got the numbers advantage. There is the Watcher, though, that might scout out some of the positioning. We'll see what angle they want to take for Nemiga. Miro's pretty beefy as well. He's going to turn with the Doom, not looking to mess around, but Jesus, all right. Well, that was a surprising amount of damage from Nemiga.
They got Solar Crest and the Wavewalk. They're not maxed out, but close enough.
Ramses, nice man to dodge.
I mean, he's out of mana.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble as well, but Solo's potentially nearby to help out. Ramses, though, still will go down nonetheless. Melryan's still going to take his spill. Now Violent's the one that's in trouble. They still had some of the Naga illusions with the Radiance burn, so that was enough to help secure the kill. And that was a fight that goes their way even without Kiyotaka there as well.
No, Kiyotaka was busy solo killing Beastmaster up top. I was like, where was Beastmaster? That was the only thing that could have dealt with the illusions there. That Aghanim Scepter, at least he's finished it up, but solo killed really isn't the way to go here. Once again, Kiyotaka showing up in force. Build quickly onto him here. Doesn't seem like it.
He's going satanic on Kiyotaka.
Yeah, I said that before.
Oh, you did? Wait, what? Huh?
I did. I mean, they're basically just making a competition of be as unkillable as possible, right? Like, Solo has shown that he's been incredibly hard to kill. He's obviously got the Flesh Golem, you've got a Naga Siren, you've got a Pangolier. They're going to steal away the Wisdom Rune, never mind. Steals away without allowing Kiyotaka to bottle it. It is what it is.
I mean, Solo's been a Chad this game. And he sees, you know, my Pango's about to have a satanic. Maybe I can get some stuff going for me.
Yep.
Nemiga, though, wanted to hit back potentially. First real big fight from them, a 5-on-5. They're going to run straight to Solo. It's been a big issue for them to be able to deal with.
Good one.
They should be able to secure the kill. Now turn to Kiyotaka as well, but the Raw's going to hold the Pango down for the moment. Violent. And we've got to keep tabs on where the PL's going. Straight towards the backline. Looking to try and dress and Taris. Should be able to do so with ease. Now wants to TP out. And he'll cancel himself. Violent not going to matter. He goes down in a hell scream. He's going to be chased down. Solo runs straight into him. A 2-for-2 in the end with the buyback out of the Undying. But 9Pandas, they get the big kill onto Violence Phantom Lancer.
They just went on the same page there. I mean, they ended up being able to clear out the Aegis, considering Pango didn't have the Rolling Thunder. They used the Raw. They had maxed out Slom drums going. All 20 charges there, but and they just went in different directions. And again, if you want to deal with this Naga Siren, you've got to make sure that you've got the Beastmaster there dealing a lot of that AoE magic damage. Going even further in their favor.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know. With how it was positioned before, I see from EGB, it's not looking too much better, as well as Melryan's also in a lot of trouble.
I wonder if they're trying to kite it out for another 10 seconds so that you've got this Roar available on Vaja.
Kiting's going to be pretty on point if that's going to work out, because they're bringing every single member bottom. It's Vaja, he'll get the Roar, but it's just minimal damage on the Kiyotaka. He's able to stand strong. Satanic's even activated as well. And now off to the left side, look at Ramses. Song on to 2, so they caught out Melryan on the escape, so Kiyotaka. Wait, oh, they didn't know he's there. All right.
But he used they cancel the TP with it. They know he has to be around. I'm glad they're in good spirits with the laugh chat wheel for the team.
As soon as he runs out, he's going to run under a ward as well. So he's probably stuck here for the whole time of his cooldown on the TP.
I mean, he can run to the right, I guess. That's where they've got the sentry coverage, so it's where he'll feel safest, and he'll just go up top. Yep, there we go.
Okay, never mind.
So, he's about to reach a decent timing here on the Primal Beast, right? You could quickly shove in this lane if you want, but he's about to have BKB, and also level 15, which, level 15, pretty great against the Blinding Light, pretty great against the Root from the Naga Siren as well. Even just the Diffusal Blade debuff is going to be nice to be able to clear off the back of that level 15 talent on the Primal Beast. So things could take a turn for the better. It's really going to be important as well for them to be able to pick up the full Crimson Guard for Vazia. He's just about the recipe away, so 1,000 gold, but I mean, all the lanes are pushed in. It hasn't used any lanes of Rax yet. Maybe just off the back of 9Pandas wanting to wait for that next Aegis, but I think we're just waiting for someone to make a mistake. They've got some really deep wards up right now, courtesy of Antares, just to be able to scout out someone that might be without a TP, for example.
How fun this would be to play into a Naga when you've got two supports that do absolutely nothing to illusions. It's just such a miserable game. To have a Radiance Naga just running you down, and then you've got other Panda members that are able to get you as well.
Oh no, Hellscream. Okay, he's able to get away. They see where the Naga is, so maybe they're just feeling like, okay, well if we make a TP back to base right now, we can absolutely get an outnumber happening. It looks like that might be the case. They made a bit of a go onto solo. They forced out the Flesh Golem, and they're going to be able to get rid of it. They still see him as well underneath this Hawk. Would you even call that a Hawk? It's like a freaking dinosaur to me. Next to the Watcher.
Oh, like a pseudo pterodactyl. Oh, nice jump. Kiyotaka. He's going to be able to set up for Mira, who was instantly there to follow up in pursuit as well. What are you going to worry about, man?
Shielded Mango.
He's untouchable.
The rare albino.
Maybe they can knock him inside the base. They'll be able to deal with the shield room swap inside. All right, baby. That's how you do it. Very nicely done. Swap back inside. They need more out of it, though. Double buyback from Nemiga. Hellscream's hunting. You've got the onslaught ready to go to close the distance, but Antares is there. And now the turnaround as well. Ramsey's going to show up out of nowhere with a song. So hold Hellscream down in a place. They'll be able to at least secure the kill onto the Clinks, but can they turn it back around though on Nemiga? Where's Violent? Where's the PL? I mean, he's off to the left side, but he can't even do anything. There's nothing that the PL is able to...
He's back though.
Ramsey's coming out to the right. Is he in trouble? Heart Radiance? Man, seems untouchable.
I mean, I was worried that you had Vazia. Careful. Trying to chase him down. They wait.
I don't know.
His micro and his like not actually moving. Panicking a little bit here. He was just busy defending in the mid lane while all of that fight was going on, so you didn't actually feel the impact of him. Part of it is you just don't want to lose a tier 3 tower off the back of Naga illusions, let alone heroes, but part of it is as well is he needs that Crimson Guard. He really wants to have that to be able to influence these next fights, but where can you get the farm, and what are you going to lose in the meantime? It's a pretty quick Roche respawn as well, so if they wanted to get that one on 9Pandas, they absolutely could.
Oh, yeah, pipe. Alright.
I mean, I don't hate that either, to be honest. You've gone up against a Diffusal, Coddle, Riptide is magic damage as well. Scorched Earth.
Radiance.
Block a lot.
It's a lot, yeah. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see if it's that 1% what they need. What is the probability, actually? It's 12%? No way. That's...
Never underestimate the power of Slum.
Power of Slum, I think this is just some PTSD of what PL is able to do in some games, but I don't know about this one.
See them go into the Roche pit, but it really doesn't feel like Nemiga are in any sort of position to contest this. It's just about getting as much farm as quickly as possible. Raja, up the Wisdom Rune at least, so or be going over to him and Venge. They're holding onto a gem right now, so at least they're looking to maybe clear out a bit of safe space for them to be able to farm with. It's really quick movement down towards the bottom side though, so you have to wonder if Sobad's time is best being spent, you know, just taking a Watcher, for example, when he could be clearing out this high ground ward. It's a place ward down first. He might even get caught out here.
They've got a deep lane ward anyway. Oh, they're going to catch up to Violent. Nice jukes for the PL. It's going to be Solo that's on top of him for the moment. Swap to reposition. Violent's going to be out to the left. Oh, Miro, he's still hunting though. Wants to try and close the distance. Aurora's just going to help the retreat, so Vazia won't have this now for the high ground defenses. There's going to be nothing that'll stop Pandas from running up.
Still the dieback as well on the Venge, so
Hero
dive.
gets it too, but it's onto the Beastmaster, who's not really going to provide a whole lot of value inside the team fight. Ramsey still will chase him down. Now they'll turn to Violent next as well. Just so much AoE damage that Violent is slowly losing his health to.
It's not like he can even join in from afar, right? They took away the Aghanim Shard, being able to throw in the Spirit Lances from afar and have them bounce around. It's on the Ags now, but he's a mile away from being able to pick that one up. Dieback on, well, the target prioritization is on point from 9Pandas. They focus down both heroes that had no capability of buying back to rejoin the fight, so that you knew you would have an outnumber. You've still got the Aegis on your Pangolin as well. Kiyotaka is just continuing to play fearlessly, as he should.
Miro as well is playing just as up in the face. Nothing to worry about from the boys on 9Pandas, and what a way to be able to kick off their third tour as well. Of course, game one was not the game they were hoping for, but they just needed a warm-up game from them. So, high expectations as well for Pandas heading into this third tour, so I just need one more fight to be able to close it out, and with the lead they have, it's... violent?
I'm really expecting them to wait for the Beastmaster to at least be alive, maybe wanting to try and get them to the mid a little bit deeper, but basically almost already lost the fight.
Nice roar. Very good roar under the tower. We'll see if it's gonna pay off to anything though. Oh, he's got Aegis? Oh. Never mind, Kiyotaka. He's chilling, dude. Oh, Dino's dead. Melorant. No buyback for them to work with. Vaughn is trying to do whatever he can here for the PL, but it's not even going to be enough. Ramses, they want more kills, and they're going to be able to find it. Song to set up for Miro's clap. And down they all go, along with the G's as well. The drop from the boys on Nemiga. So Pandas going to be able to start off their third and final tour with a series victory over Nemiga. Beautifully done.
Very, very nicely done. After a little bit of an initial scare in that game number one. I have to say, though, even though the game, you know, finished a little bit more convincingly than I was probably expecting, I didn't mind the early game from Nemiga. Like, I was worried that they would just get crushed in all three lanes. Didn't really happen. I thought they did a better job. Of course, I think it's a huge mistake when you ever just let Doom through. This hero almost feels like an instant win. A lot of the time. You can be flexible with your builds, you just pick up whatever neutral creep is going to give you the best utility in the lane. You can go for survivability, you can go for initiation, you can go for scaling. It doesn't matter. This hero is just the best hero in Dota by far. I agree with Quinn. Make sure to drop a quick like on that tweet so hopefully it gets a little bit more traction, but Doom is just crazy good right now.
I don't need to say anything else on the Doom hero. Enough has been said about him, but it's good to see not really losing the stride for Pandas, with Solo coming back towards the team as well. I wonder what's going on with Roger, if you had any passing comments after the major to the old man. Of course, some ex-teammates as well, but for 9Pandas is, again, a nice way to start off. They get a bit more of an easier opponent. I'm trying to see who they're versing next. They got the second team coming out from Division 2 as well, so a bit of an easy start for the boys on Pandas.
You know what? They're number one seed. They get that luxury.
Yes, they do indeed, until it's proven otherwise, until someone is able to knock them off that top of the podium. Of course, there are some definitely teams to be able to do that. You take a look at the likes of really BetBoom and Spirit are the ones we're looking at. Who knows what VP are able to do as well. And of course, there's a lot of other very, very scary teams that we've already seen so far as well. But at least for us today, and for our second day overall of Division 1 for Eastern Europe, we are going to be done and dusted. We will be back in 2 more days to continue on with the Division 1 action for the summer tour. But until then, enjoy the DPC action going on. We'll see you back in a couple of days for some more DPC for Eastern Europe.
Thanks for watching.